Hi, I'm Ella, and this is my Chapter 3 discussion prompt answers. So, for number 1, what's the biggest difference between my public versus private self and how I interact? I would say my public self is more aware of my surroundings and assimilates better depending on social cues I can pick up on, like body language, verbal cues, environment, perspective, and thinking about how people are perceiving me changes how I communicate, and which is very different than when my private self, because my private self can unwind more and have more room in my brain to think about other things other than how I'm being perceived. I think it's interesting how if you think about how your brain communicates with yourself in like public versus private settings. For self-fulfilling prophecies, I would say I always kind of knew I was going to end up in Hawaii, even though no one really thought I was going to. In high school, I moved here by myself when I was 18. So, I would say, even though looking back at it, the odds were very much against me, but I kind of always just knew I would end up here, so I would definitely consider that a self-fulfilling prophecy. For number 3, I tend to not get my point across as much during mediated discussions, like especially like emailing and texting. I definitely don't communicate as good as I could or I should. Face to face, I'm a lot more opinionated and get my point across more, and I would say it's very different for me personally, mediated discussions versus face to face. That's all for this prompt.